After spending a whole week with the Apple Watch Ultra, I can honestly say that this is still just an Apple Watch. Let me explain. Now, if you're someone that uses an Apple Watch daily, such as the Series 7, the SE, or any other Apple Watch, then you honestly know all of the things that this Apple Watch can do. You still get all of the smartwatch features such as messaging, emailing, tracking your fitness, tracking your sleep, and honestly, a lot of the big changes to the Apple Watch lineup came with watchOS 9 rather than really the upgrade from a 7 to an Ultra or the upgrade from an 8 to an Ultra if you're deciding between both of those. And what I mean by that is that the Apple Watch Ultra is a smartwatch first and fitness tracker second. Now that is completely contrary to what a lot of the commercials show you, showing someone using an Apple Watch Ultra to go to the mountains, to go do other things. And honestly, even though it's capable of doing all of that, this is still the number one reason, or the number one option for all of the iPhone users, because it still has all those smartwatch capabilities that other fitness trackers or activity trackers don't have. Now that's something that a lot of people in the fitness community still complain about, whether it doesn't have large enough battery life, it's not tracking well enough. But in my opinion, I think the Apple Watch lineup is more than a fitness tracker, and it's still a smartwatch first. And that is why I think that the Apple Watch Ultra is a great option for anyone that has an iPhone and is looking for something a little more rugged, a little bit more fitness based, or I guess bulky, and really more for the people that go outdoors more, rather than looking for an Apple Watch that will take you to something like a gala or not. I don't think a lot of people are going to galas, but something like a formal event, right? Where you have to wear either a suit and tie or business attire. If you're looking something like that, then you might want to go with the S8. But if you like the look of a sporty watch, and I honestly do, I've always liked something like a Casio G-Shock, or really something that's more fitness based, such as this Fitbit, and just having a little bit extra capabilities, and more than anything, having a longer battery life is the number one reason why I went with the Ultra over upgrading to the 8. Now, before I moved to the Ultra, I was using a Series 7 45 milliliter, and the difference in really screen size isn't that much. If you look at both of them side by side, the screen size itself is pretty much the same. But again, the frame of the Ultra is a little bit larger. Now, aside from having the looks of something a little more rugged, it is still a smartwatch first, which is something that a lot of the other fitness trackers are missing, at least for me. I really like being able to see my messages, seeing all my notifications pop up, especially when I'm in my office and I don't really have time to take out my phone, or it honestly looks a lot worse if you're taking out your phone constantly to check it. Whereas at a glance at your Apple Watch to see if you missed anything important is always a lot easier and a lot cleaner to look at. Now, I have looked at possibly moving to other fitness trackers or smartwatches such as Garmin, but those are really kind of locked down to only fitness tracking. Same thing with the Fitbit. All of the notifications, all of the messaging, all of the extra things really aren't that compatible with iPhone. Now, yeah, I do know that it's because Apple has honestly locked down a lot of the notifications, locked down a lot of those extra reading capabilities, or I guess smartwatch capabilities, to only work with Apple Watch, so that they can close kind of that market, so that whenever you're looking for a smartwatch for iPhone, you kind of have to go with an Apple Watch. But I honestly am already in the ecosystem, and I know I really can't do anything about it. And I do enjoy being connected. I enjoy having an Apple Watch to look at all of that. So that's why I still choose an Apple Watch over something like a Garmin or other dedicated fitness trackers. Now, you still get all of the other capabilities of an Apple Watch, such as controlling the camera, which I think is really great when you can set up your iPhone far away from you and you want to take a picture. Say it's like you and a friend, or you and your girlfriend, boyfriend, you're out and you want to take a picture. So you set up your phone from far away, and rather than doing a timer, you can simply go on your Apple Watch, click on the camera app, and it'll show you exactly what your phone is seeing, so you can line up the framing just right. Another way I have used this before is whenever I'm content creating and I have my camera set a little too far away from me and I'm using the iPhone camera, it's nice to be able to see exactly what it looks like before you press record. That way you're not recording something and then you have to go around and look exactly what it looked like, or having to set up a mirror behind your phone to still get that camera on the back of the iPhone, which is better than the front facing one, and then not being able to see exactly what you're recording. And of course, you still get access to all of the other apps for Apple Watch, such as checking your emails, calling people, as well as listening to podcasts or opening up Spotify on the Apple Watch itself. Now, when it comes to upgrades from the Series 7 to the Ultra, there's really not that many differences in sensors. This does have a temperature sensor for better reading for when you sleep and for the ladies whenever you're tracking your cycle. But honestly, the other difference isn't really that much of a huge difference. If you care about tracking things like your sleep, your steps, or your fitness, both of them do that. And like I mentioned before, watchOS 9 is the one that really brought a lot of the big changes, and watchOS 9 is available on previous versions of the Apple Watch. It's not limited to the Ultra or the Series 8. Now, one thing for my health that I've been wanting to take care of this year is getting more sleep. So I wanted a dedicated sleep tracker, and that's honestly why I went with the Charge 5. I was looking at this being one of the best sleep trackers out there. But recently I saw a video from the Quantified Scientist on YouTube. He does a lot of scientific tests for sleep tracking and everything like that. He recently did one on the Series 7 with the beta version of watchOS 9. And he found that the sleep tracking stages on the Series 7 with watchOS 9 were the best results he's seen out of all the Apple Watches he has. So if you're also someone that's looking to better your sleep, watchOS 9 brought better sleep tracking features across the board to the Series 7 and below, as well as the Series 8 and the Ultra with watchOS 9. I'm going to leave a link down in the description to the Quantified Scientist channel so you can check out that video and see exactly all the tests that he went through to see how sleep stage tracking is on the Series 7 with watchOS 9 compared to some of the other machines he used. And the last part of the fitness part of the Apple Watch ecosystem is having those rings, or the 3 rings that you have to close. Now, for a lot of people, this is one of the major motivators as to why you would get up and actually get a workout done. You do get notifications throughout the day if you haven't closed them. And honestly, I have made a goal for me to start closing all of my rings daily, because there was some time where I was slacking and I wasn't really getting much movement in. So I started tracking my rings, and I honestly really like that feature from an Apple Watch perspective, having that little extra sense of motivation so you can get up and get some workout or get some movement in. So I like that tracking feature as well. And again, it's still available on the Ultra and anything previous to that. Now, along with the rings, the workouts also got a huge upgrade because of watchOS 9. So you can go ahead and track some splits if you're doing outdoor cycling. You can also track your pace and have your heart rate sensor and have a lot of extra, information on the little screens that you have whenever you're doing a workout. Now, if the fitness app isn't something that you really like on the Apple Watch, you can also go with a third-party app that you can download onto the Apple Watch so you can display whatever you want. I've seen a lot of people use Workout Doors, which allows you to customize the screens and set not pre-workouts, but pre-made workouts or pre-saved workouts so that the watch can track it better and you have all of your screens in one place. And that right there, to me, is one of the main reasons why someone would go with an Apple Watch, is because there's apps that are dedicated to the watch itself. So if this does anything that you don't like, which notoriously the Apple Watch kind of collects a lot of data but doesn't really know how to put it together, there is a lot of third-party apps out there that you can download or pay for or subscription-based, but there is other things that you can add on to the watch itself so that it can do something with that data. Now, the main reason why you shouldn't get this watch is because it's not a revolutionary change. It's not a huge bump. Kind of my iPhone 14 video. This is still kind of a half step up. It does have a different case. It has the added extra battery life. But honestly, even for the battery life, it's not really as great as you would think. It says up to 36 hours, but I am getting like 40 hours, 60 hours if I really drain it all the way to zero. But that's still only 2 days of battery life because of the way I charge it. I still have to charge it before bed, which isn't a big deal to me. But if you're looking for something that's going to last possibly even a week, this is not going to be it. Now, looking at the base model price, the Apple Watch Ultra does come in at twice the amount of the base model for the Series 8. And honestly, there's not really much of a difference. You still get that temperature sensor. The only thing you don't get is the orange action button, which, yeah, you can customize to do something specific, but I don't know if that's worth twice the amount than the normal Series 8. The major change to the Apple Watch ecosystem was watchOS 9, and that's available across the board to all the previous ones. So there's not really a huge reason on why you should be upgrading to this Apple Watch unless you're someone that really does go outdoors a lot, you're looking for something more rugged, and you don't mind the larger case size. I personally don't really mind it. I don't really go to many formal events. So using something like this that's a little more rugged, that looks more kind of a fitness watch, I don't really mind it. I'm a huge fan of orange, so I really like the action button and all the accents on it as well. So this is something that's a very specific case if you like dressing up your watch, wearing maybe like a leather band or a metal band and taking it to a formal event. This still might not be the option to go with. You might want to go with a Series 7 or Series 8 instead. Basically, at the end of the day, like I mentioned, this is a great fitness tracker. It's still a great watch. It is kind of a step above. Whether it's worth the price, that's totally up to you. That's totally subjective, not objective. But it's totally a different style watch. It's more rugged. It's a lot bigger. But at the end of the day, it's still just an Apple Watch. It's still a smartwatch. It has all the capabilities. But if you're looking for a dedicated fitness tracker, I still don't think this is it. But let's remember that this is Apple's first generation of the Apple Watch Ultra. As more iterations or more generations come, there is going to be other upgrades to the battery life as well as better fitness tracking. But what do you think of the Apple Watch Ultra? Is this something that you're looking to upgrade this year? Let me know down in the comments, and click here to see another video of the iPhone 14 Pro and why I think for the 14 Pro, it's not worth the upgrade this year. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.